Ladies and gentlemen, you're now listening to Who You Got with Kale and Sam. Now, who do you got?
Football! 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 Welcome to Who You Got. This is episode 4, right?
Of Who You Got?
3, technically. 2.
Technically 3.
Yeah, okay.
Week 4 of the NFL. Or week 3 of the NFL.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, now we're going to week 4.
We're going into week 4, yeah.
Yes.
Yep.
Yes.
But recapping our week 3 picks. Kale won again. We had the same records we did in week 2. Kale went 8-8. I went 6-10. Overall, on the year now, he's 3-0. I'm 0-3. He's got an overall record of 27-21. Mine's 22-26. So, got some work to do on my side. But
There were some games I wish I would have picked.
there's some crazy ones, man. Like, there was some upsets. There was more upsets this week than there were last week, I think.
I know, like the Rams and 49ers. I knew I should have took the fucking Rams. I knew it.
Well, I mean, just looking at it here, I mean, let's see. I mean, Vikings beating the Texans, I consider that an upset.
Yep.
Eagles beat the Saints. Broncos beat the Buccaneers. Giants beat the Browns. Panthers beat the Raiders. That's not really an upset. But yeah,
For the Panthers it is.
The Rams beating the 49ers, though, that's crazy.
Yeah.
And then even last night, the Commanders beating the Bengals.
Stomp them.
And like that's nothing against Joey B in that offense because they did just fine. Joe Burrow got me 40-some fantasy points. So he played his game. It's their defense is trash. Their defense is trash. Jaden Daniels made them look silly out there. Had one of the best rookie performances of all time.
That was crazy how they were leading them the whole game and
Yeah.
all that other stuff, and it just seemed like Cincinnati should Cincinnati start worrying about what are they gonna do?
Yeah. They got to shore up that defense. That's number one.
Yeah, because it's not Trey Hendrick can't do it all himself.
No.
Joey B can't do it himself, and they lost a lot of pieces last year. And maybe they're gonna start looking at, okay, is Zach Taylor still a good coach?
Could be. It could be getting to that point. I think they just need to get some wins. I don't even – who do they play this coming week? I know I had it on here. They play the Panthers, which could be an interesting matchup. We'll talk about that when we get to it, though.
Yep.
Anything else you want to talk about before we get into these?
What has happened in the last few days in the sports world?
Well, I can say today, just earlier today, Brett Favre, legendary Packers quarterback, NFL Hall of Famer, recently diagnosed with Parkinson's disease. That kind of hits close to me on 2 levels because obviously Favre is one of my favorite players of all time, but then I also, with what I do for work, I work with a lot of people who have Parkinson's disease, and I've met a lot of people with Parkinson's disease who have also passed away in my life. So prayers to Brett and his family. Parkinson's is a wicked disease. How about you, Kale?
I saw Brett Bielema doubling down on his take about how a lot of people are saying or calling him out how he thinks Penn State is not as loud as Memorial Stadium in Nebraska.
So he thinks Penn State is as loud or not as loud?
Not as loud.
I believe it.
I can believe it.
Memorial Stadium gets loud, man. If you've ever been there.
I think that's a good kudos to us because now we know.
Yeah.
People look at it like these are the guys.
I mean, it's not like they rolled over us. It was a tough game. My only thing is if we even struggle or if we're in a dogfight against Purdue or if we somehow lose to them, there's big problems to be had because Purdue is not very good this year.
Yeah, but we're not here for college football. We're here for the NFL.
That's right.
Week 4. Week 4. You want the shirt?
I suppose it's mine this week again, isn't it?
Yeah.
The good old clown shirt. Well, I'm not gonna go back on a promise. Set my mic down for now.
We should get some music going on, like a little fashion show music.
You'd like that, wouldn't you?
I would love it because it would just make me laugh when I'm editing this. Nothing more makes me laugh when I see my opponent just dressed as a clown.
You want to bring a big red nose next time and a wig?
Don't give me ideas. I will go Amazon and buy one. I will literally go buy
Watch, that's the week you finally lose, and then you have to wear
I'm
it.
not jinxing it.
I'm gonna call you Ronald.
I'll tell you if I'm wearing it or not. I make this show. Just kidding.
Rule's a rule, man. You gotta honor it.
But hey, we said shirt. Next year we could do more. Next year we can do more.
Gotta get it. That top. Gotta get all the way to that top button.
Also, again, shout out to Craig for giving me this shirt.
That could be the thumbnail.
Could be.
That could be the thumbnail.
Could be.
All right. Should we get into these predictions?
Yes, sir.
All right. Thursday night football. First game of the week. We got the New York Football Giants at home versus their NFC East division rival, Dallas Cowboys. I'm rolling with the Cowboys here. I don't see them losing 3 games in a row, especially against the Giants, who are trash. Yeah, they made the Browns look stupid last week, but I think the Browns are just the Browns. Deshaun Watson's washed.
You mean the Giants?
What?
I thought they're playing Giants versus the Cowboys.
It is.
You said something about the Browns.
Giants beat the Browns last week.
Oh, I see.
I'm talking about their last game.
Okay, my bad.
I am just saying that even though both teams are, 1-2? Yeah.
Have to be.
Yeah, they're both 1-2. And the Cowboys are definitely just the more talented team, the better team. And even though the Giants beat the Browns in kind of an upset type of game, the Browns are going to do Browns things. Deshaun Watson is washed. If they had a different quarterback, they'd be better. But Deshaun Watson, I'm convinced he's
You ain't
washed.
watching that massage parlor.
So I'm going
They watch
Cowboys on my prediction. Kale, who you got? Handoff this time.
Easily Cowboys. I mean, well, I don't know. I hate these games because
It's a tough. They got the same record.
Okay.
Giants are actually at home, so you could roll that way. Dak could choke. Dak's known to choke.
No, I'm gonna go Cowboys. I thought it was for some reason I thought it was the Browns again.
Yeah, they already dominated the Browns. Both these teams beat the Browns. We can say that. So,
Going Cowboys.
second game I have here is Packers at home versus the Vikings.
That's gonna be a tough battle, but it's also gonna bring into the fact is this gonna be a real good game, a real
It's at
test.
Lambeau, by the way.
It's gonna be a really good test for Sam Darnold against the Packers.
We have a good defense this year. We lead the league in turnovers defensively, and Jordan Love is probably going to be back for this one.
This is a tough game.
Yeah, it should be a good game.
I'm gonna go Packers on this one.
Okay. Kale goes Packers.
Because the reason is I'm not a firm believer in the Sam Darnold train right now.
Everyone's hyping up Sam Darnold, and here's the thing. Think back to 2021 when he was with the Carolina Panthers. They went 3-0. Sam Darnold was on fire. He was an MVP candidate, and then he fizzled out. It's gonna happen again.
Just like Josh Dobbs last season.
I just don't see it lasting long. Like, Sam Darnold is solid. He can be solid for a few weeks, but teams are going to start figuring him out. There's no substance to his game. He's just a basic drop back quarterback. Like, teams are going to start figuring him out. He's kind of like a Kirk Cousins type. You know what I mean? But not as good.
That is also Kirk Cousins in all of his time in Vikings land. He never had a 3-0
Yeah,
start.
that's true. He never did. So that's a good point. And I'm not trying to bash Sam Darnold. He's playing good, but it's going to come to an end at some point. They got to march into Lambeau. They got to go up against our tough defense. Granted, they got weapons. You know, we're going to have to stop Aaron Jones. We're going to have to stop Justin Jefferson. Hawkinson, I don't think he's back yet, the tight end. They got weapons for sure, and Sam Darnold's playing good, but Jordan Love should be back. And I think if Jordan Love is back, our offensive playbook will be able to open it up a little bit more. And you know, if we have to beat him in a shootout, we got to beat him in a shootout. But I think if Malik Willis plays, then Malik has been great so far, but his game is limited, and I think we lose if Malik plays. But I'm hearing Jordan almost played this last week, so I think he's going to play, so I'm going to go Packers. I can't go against my Packers. The next game, New York Jets at home versus Denver Broncos. Broncos just got done with a big upset victory over the Buccaneers in week 3. Jets are now 2-1 on the year. I got to go Jets on this one just because I think Aaron Rodgers is starting to play like the old Aaron Rodgers. He looked like it against the Patriots. Granted, the Patriots are trash, but not defensively. And actually, I've heard there's rumors they might be trying to trade for Devontae Adams. And imagine that. Imagine if, you know, Aaron reunites with Devontae. They got Garrett Wilson there. Alan Lazard's playing like his old self. They got 2 really good running backs.
Garrett Wilson's starting to, I don't know. I think he's kind of getting lost in that shuffle a little bit.
Yeah, a little bit. They'll start to open it up a little more. He's definitely their best receiver. Aaron just knows Lazard better. Yeah. But I gotta go Jets here. Who you got?
I don't know. I feel like maybe the Broncos are gonna bounce back from the last 2 weeks. I mean, they did upset the Bucks.
The Bucks.
Bucks are a pretty good team. They've been starting off hot. They unfortunately beat the Detroit Lions. Unfortunately, got lucky. Aaron Rodgers, like you said, he's starting to play his old self, and he's doing pretty well. But it's not. He can't just throw it to one person.
Well, he hasn't been. They've been spreading the ball around.
Oh, okay.
Last week, I mean, it's Breece Hall, it's Braylon Allen, it's Garrett Wilson, it's Alan Lazard, it's Mike Williams, it's Tyler Conklin, the tight end. Like they got guys. They were spreading the wealth around. So
I think the Broncos are going to pull off an upset.
Okay. Our first different one. Next, we've got Falcons at home versus the Saints. Saints?
I think Saints.
You're signing off on that?
Yep, because although they lost last week, they still played some really great football.
They played tough against the Eagles.
Their defense is really damn good. Their offense is doing pretty well. They just lost by very little, and they almost came back, and then they messed it up. But I'm riding on the Saints on this one. I don't think Kirk Cousins is fully 100% healthy, as people say he is. You can tell in the way he dropped back. And then you got some other players who are not doing too much when they should be. The Falcons defense ain't that great. I mean, riding with the Saints on this one. Roll to ya.
Got the roll pass.
Yeah.
Falcons Saints. An interesting thing though is the Falcons beat the Eagles. Saints lost to them.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think if Kirk Cousins can get to how we know he can play, I think the Falcons would be a tough offense to stop. But the Saints have shown 2 out of 3 weeks so far this year that they are the real deal. So I got to roll with the Saints as well. And that's all I'll have to say on that. Next one is Buccaneers at home.
Not gonna lie, I thought you were gonna take the Falcons.
No, I think Saints. I think Saints have the. I just think they've shown more this year,
The upper hand.
and I think Alvin Kamara is really kind of looking like his old self a little bit.
Yep.
Buccaneers, Eagles, next one. Two teams. They're both 2-1. Yeah, they're both 2-1. Kind of a rematch of last year's NFC wildcard matchup, and the Buccaneers won that one. Baker Mayfield again. He had a little bit of a down week last week. They lost to the Broncos in upset fashion. The Eagles essentially upset the Saints in a way. But this is a tough one, kind of. Buccaneers are at home. I think they'll bounce back. I'm going to go Buccaneers. Who you got?
Buccaneers and who?
Eagles.
Oh, I mean, I think we all discovered that in the last few weeks that Jalen Hurts is ass. I hate to say that. I liked him, but now looking at him, he's just ass. You know, I don't know what went wrong in his regime, or like his mechanics.
Yeah.
I hope for the best that he somehow still becomes a journeyman QB in the NFL at some point, but I don't think he's getting it done in the Eagles. Next,
You don't think he's a long-term guy for the Eagles?
as of right now, he's showing it because I thought he would have bounced back this year in our power hour, but
It's only week 4.
it is only
Yeah,
week
well,
four.
it's a long season. I feel like he'll figure it out, but I still took the Buccaneers.
But however,
What about Baker?
well, let me finish the Eagles real quick. It, however, falls back on Nick Stefani as a coach.
Stefani?
That's what I said, Stefani.
That's not his name.
Huh?
It's not his name.
Yeah, it is.
No, it's not. It's
Well-
Nick Sirianni.
Close enough.
You're thinking of Kevin Stefanski.
Hey, no.
For the
I
Browns.
just pronounced it wrong. Tomato. It also falls back on him and other coaches, and it just seemed like that coaching staff might not be getting it done, too. But,
I think he's not a very good coach.
however, Buccaneers, they have shown the last 3 weeks that they are a good team. I mean, although they have been upsetted by the Broncos.
They got blown out by the Broncos.
Then Todd Bowles, he's a good defensive coach. He's just not a really good offensive coach. But he's doing pretty well with Baker Mayfield. Baker Mayfield's still playing great, but I honestly think the Bucs should look at other receivers too. You got Trey Palmer.
They have barely been using
And
Trey
he's
Palmer
barely
this
been
year.
used, yeah. And he was doing great from last year, and now he's getting lost in that shuffle. And now when he's getting lost in the shuffle, then he's not going to play.
Yeah, I think they need to utilize him a little bit more.
But they probably won't. I
In
mean,
the slot, I mean, you got Evans and Godwin. I forgot the name of the other guy they've been using more than Trey, but I feel like Trey deserves that spot. But
yeah. So I'm going to
Could
go
be
with Buccaneers.
Buccaneers. Okay. Next, we've got Panthers versus the Bengals. You might touch on it, but it's some interesting matchup here.
I'm going to go with the Panthers upsetting the Bengals. And I'm saying that because the Bengals are not playing great football. They're not playing good football at all. Joey B, I mean, he's playing like he usually is, but like we talked about in the pre-show, he's not.
It's a defense.
It's the defense. It's some offensive players. Might be Zach Taylor,
or Zach Moss, the running back.
yeah. They lost,
Mixon,
and they lost. And you know what?
They lost Tyler Boyd.
And they're also doing the contract talks with Jamar Chase. I felt like they did me wrong.
Chase played good last night, though.
He did,
He did.
but I'm sure that was a big distraction the first 2 games.
Oh yeah, for sure.
But what was the quote?
Yeah, I felt like they misled me.
Misled me. Like, get over it, dude. Panthers, I think, I don't know. Some part of me feels like Bryce Young has a little hope for his career, but not as a starter. But Andy Dalton, he's always been a good quarterback. historically wherever he went. He just had a bad, when he was in Cincinnati, it just went downhill too quick, and they got rid of him too quick. I still think he could be a good quarterback for the Panthers. I think they're playing well. Hubbard is playing well as well for them.
Yeah.
And you also got to look at their defense. They're playing all right, but not great. They're getting a little bit better. I'm going to go with the upset with the Panthers, though, because I think after this last week's win, I think they're fired up to get that another W.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it would be an upset, even though the Panthers are 1-2 and the Bengals are 0-3. It would still be an upset if the Panthers win, just because it's Joe Burrow. But it's interesting because Andy Dalton played for the Bengals for almost a whole decade.
For almost his whole career.
Yeah. And he had a lot of success there. Never won a playoff game.
And that's why they got rid of him.
Yeah. But he was a productive quarterback. I don't think he is nearly as good as Joey B is at his best. But yeah, dude, it's an interesting matchup because you got Andy Dalton, who comes back out of nowhere. They bench Bryce Young. Andy Dalton comes in and leads the Panthers to a blowout victory. Plays phenomenal. And now he's going up against his former team that he has spent most of his career with. It's an interesting matchup. Panthers are at home. Gosh, at some point the Bengals got to win a game though. I got to roll with Cincinnati here. I don't think Joe Burrow is going to start 0-4. Usually the Bengals start a little rough, but they got to figure it out, man. And I don't think Joey B is going to let it happen 4 straight weeks in a row. So we'll see how it goes. That'll be an interesting game though. Next one, we got Texans at home versus the Jaguars. Both teams suffered disappointing losses in week 3. Texans got upset by the Vikings. Jaguars got blown out by the Bills. Trevor Lawrence is looking like ass. Jaguars are not looking good so far this year. Trevor Lawrence seems like he's really regressed since that 2022 season. Really since like midway of last season when he got hurt. I feel like he hasn't fully come back from that injury. And I think the Texans have a better team. I'm going to roll with Texans here. Yeah, I just don't think the Jaguars have it right now, and they're struggling to figure it out, and Doug Peterson is struggling to figure it out for them at head coach. So, who you got? Texans, Jags.
Easily the Texans. I think they're a pretty well put team, although they had a blowout loss against the Vikings last week. I think they're gonna probably go in there and stomp them as an FU back to the league. I also feel like, Jaguars, I feel like I agree with you on Lawrence. He's regressing a lot. And
granted, he doesn't have a lot of help outside of Travis Etienne Jr.
Yeah, because
he doesn't have the best receiving core.
He lost his best receiver.
He lost Calvin Ridley. And really, the receiving core is okay, but it's not the greatest, to be honest.
But I would hate to be a Vikings fan. I would hate to be a Jaguars fan. Because it just seems like you guys go up, down, and you guys don't regress at all.
They felt like Trevor Lawrence was supposed to be the next, Peyton Manning, and he hasn't been.
And he could be a good quarterback, but he just doesn't get the help he needs. If that way he's getting hurt, and it's ruining his career.
Yep.
And you can call me a Lawrence bandwagoner and whatever, but I think he can probably get it done. I just think
I do too. He's got the potential.
I think the upper management of the Jaguars need to get their head up their ass.
Yeah. All right. Colts at home versus the Steelers.
Going with. Gosh, that's a tough one. That's an honest tough one.
Why is that tough? Steelers are 3-0. Colts are 1-2.
Yeah, but
Colts are at home, but still.
It seems like the Colts are starting to really get it together.
Anthony Richardson is not that good, though.
He's not great, but he's getting it done.
His accuracy needs work.
But I'm going to go with the Steelers. I think they have a better defense. They have obviously a better offense. Look at Justin Fields. Justin Fields is playing great, and he's 3-0.
Yeah.
And look at Caleb Williams, too. I don't think Justin Fields was the problem in Chicago. It was the upper management and it was the coaching staff mainly.
That's what it is a lot of the time, though. Really, we're kind of seeing it this year. Like, every quarterback is good. It really is dependent of their situation. Like, every quarterback can be good. We're seeing it with Sam Darnold, Justin Fields, the resurgence of Baker Mayfield, Malik Willis in Green Bay right now.
Everyone wrote him off in Tennessee, and then he got traded.
Went out and beat his former team.
Kicked the shit out of their team.
So you're going Steelers?
Yes, sir. I don't know what kind of role that is.
The end over end roll.
End to end.
End over like this, not like this. Colts Steelers. I got to go Steelers, man. I think it's an easy pick. I don't really think this one's that tough. Colts are improving. They beat the Bears last week. I don't know. Anthony Richardson, Big Tony. He's he's still struggling with his accuracy and his mechanics. He's a great athlete, has a rocket for an arm, but he's struggling completing 5-yard out routes. You know, he threw it over the guy's head. You know, just threw it over his head, and it was a 5-yard out route. Justin Fields is, you know, he's not playing great, but he's managing the game. You know, he's not making mistakes. He's avoiding the mistakes, and he's doing what he's good at to help the Steelers win. And the Steelers are playing great defense. They have great defense. That's what they're known for. I'm going Steelers. Next game, we got Bears at home versus the Rams. Okay, Bears, Rams. I want to say Rams. I feel like at some point Caleb Williams has to get it together. But the Rams just upset the 49ers last week. And I don't know. I think the Rams win, but I think Caleb Williams has his best game of the season so far, and it's a shootout between him and Stafford. I just think at some point he's got to get it together. He's too good not to. I'm not saying I'm a Caleb Williams fan. I hate the painted nails thing. I hate the whole... I don't like his personality, but he's a good quarterback. You saw how he played in college. It translates to the pros. I just think at some point he's gotta have that big statistical game. And I'm gonna go Rams, but I'm gonna say it's in a shootout between Stafford and Caleb. Who you got?
Pretty well put. I'm just gonna easily say it. We'll have Rams.
Fair enough. Okay. Cardinals, Commanders. Cardinals at home.
Commanders. I think JD is figuring out what he needs to do. He also is a running quarterback. He's also a throwing quarterback. Their backfield is pretty good.
Two similar quarterbacks in this game.
Yep.
JD and Kyler.
Yep. But Terry McLaurin, whatever.
Yeah, he went off last night.
He went off for me on fantasy, and I'm like I said, I'm gonna go with the Commanders. I think they're getting their shit figured out with Dan Quinn. Dan Quinn is a good defensive coach. Offensive wise, they're doing pretty well as well with what's his face at coordinator.
Cliff Kingsbury.
Yep, Kingsbury.
Yep.
I couldn't think of his name.
And he used to be the head coach for the Cardinals.
Ironically, yes. But Cardinals, the only person they really got on offense is either James Conner, Harrison Jr., and that's it.
Trey McBride.
McBride, yes.
Yeah.
Defense,
yeah.
not so
They got those three guys and Kyler scrambling around making plays, but they don't really have any other good wide receivers outside of NHJ. So you got Commanders?
Yes, sir. The Redskins.
Whoa.
Whoa, buddy.
I'm gonna also say Commanders. Commanders are 2-1 after their upset victory over the Bengals. Cardinals are 1-2 now? No, they're 0-3. No, they're 1-2. They beat the Rams in week 2. Lost to your Lions in week 3. I think both quarterbacks have been playing pretty well so far this year. Jaden Daniels really had his big coming out party last night against Cincinnati.
We're proud of you, buddy.
But yeah, I'm gonna go Commanders. I think he's starting to figure it out. If he keeps playing like this, maybe he'll win Offensive Rookie of the Year. But yeah, I'm gonna go Commanders. Next game we got the 49ers at home versus the Patriots. I gotta roll 49ers. They're 1-2, which is surprising. They've lost a couple close games. Well, yeah, a couple close. Well, they kind of got blown out by the Vikings, and then they barely lost to the Rams last week. Stafford went clutch mode. But I think Brock Purdy is going to start figuring it out. They're missing some pieces too. They're missing Debo. They're missing McCaffrey. I think they're missing Kittle too. They're just missing some guys, but I mean they're going up against the Patriots, which I think Drake May is now the starter. They benched Jacoby Brissett last week against the Jets. So I'm going to go 49ers in this one. Who you got?
You think there's red flags going on in San Francisco right now?
I don't know. How so?
That they're 1-2, and a lot of people are thinking they're expected to be like the best team in the league.
Well, Brock Purdy's going to get a lot of that hate again. Oh, he's a system QB. He's no good. He can't get it done.
No wonder he was last pick, or
yeah, he can't get it done unless everyone is healthy. It's like, dude, shut up. Brock Purdy's a good quarterback. It's the NFL, man. It's really literally any given Sunday.
I think the 49ers are going to take this one. I think they're going to bounce back after the last two.
Yeah, Patriots are trash.
Two shocking wins. You got the title of almost the best team in the league, and you lost to one of the shittiest teams in the league, back to back. Well, the Rams ain't really shitty.
No, Rams are good. They made the playoffs last year.
I was for some reason thinking the Patriots, but that's who they're playing.
And the week before they lost to the Vikings.
If I was Brock Purdy, I would be the team leader I am and get them fired up. That's me.
Yep.
I mean, what else do you want me to say about it?
Raiders at home versus the Browns. I don't know if they benched Gardner Minshew for Aiden O'Connell. They might have. Well, they put in Aiden O'Connell last week at some point. I don't know if they're going to stick with him, though. Probably not.
I think the Browns are going to get that win.
Yeah.
As much as I don't want to say it, but the Browns are going to get that win. They're both. Those teams are not playing good football as what we thought they were going to. The Raiders, yeah, we didn't really think about it. But the Browns, we kind of did.
Yeah. Well, I mean, Browns were good last year.
Old man Flacco.
Mm-hmm.
And
looking like they should have kept him.
They should try to trade for him again. He ain't doing anything. Colts.
Fuck, Anthony Richardson might get benched.
Then they'll lead them playoffs.
Anthony Richardson?
Tony Richardson.
Well, they got Jameis Winston.
Yeah.
I'd honestly go with him over Deshaun at this point.
I think Deshaun's time in Cleveland is pretty much over. Well said and done. He had a great career while he did.
Yep.
Yeah, Browns. Not much to say about it.
The roll. Yeah, I mean, you heard their head coach Antonio Pierce, the Raiders head coach Antonio Pierce, in post-game press conference last week. A couple players made business decisions. And I think they're speculating he's referring to Devontae. And that's why there's the trade rumors going around, because Devontae's not going to win with the Raiders.
That he thought he was.
Gardner Minshew, yeah.
And then Derek Carr is gone.
Gardner Minshew, I mean, he's a solid bridge quarterback, but he's not a franchise quarterback, and neither is Aiden O'Connell. They don't really have much else. Max Crosby's a great player, but Browns have more. They're just a more talented team. I got to go Browns. Whether Deshaun Watson is their starter all year or not, he probably will be if they can win a few games just because they're paying him so much. But if he really starts to play like absolute dog shit, eventually they got to take him out. Like, they're too talented of a team to be losing like this. I could see him going to Jameis Winston at some point if he continues to play like ass. Chargers at home versus the Chiefs. Chargers might be Justin Herbert-less because he went down last week. I forgot what his injury was. But the Chiefs are 3-0. A lot of people saying they could be easily at 1-2 or 0-3. You know, at the end of the day, they're still 3-0. Patrick Mahomes is doing Patrick Mahomes things. And I got to go Chiefs here, even though they're on the road.
You can keep that ball. I'm going with Chiefs.
All right, fair enough.
Much else to say about the Chiefs?
I mean, honestly, if Justin Herbert was healthy, I might think about it a little more.
The cheating Chiefs.
Ravens at home versus the Bills. This might be the game of the week here. This might be where I don't know. We'll see.
That is our TNT boys game of the week.
That's a tough one. Even though the Bills are 3-0 and the Ravens are 1-2, you got two of the most electric quarterbacks in the game going head to head: Lamar Jackson and Josh Allen. Go ahead. I'll give my take after you give your take.
Oh boy, it is.
Don't lose it.
It is.
I ain't catching it. Whoa, man, not my turn. Not catching it. I will not. Got the clown shirt on for a reason.
Yeah.
Go for it.
It's pretty well evened up match. I would like to say, Josh Allen is playing a great year. I think he's gonna, he's proven that he doesn't need Stephon Diggs. He doesn't need other players and
Gabe Davis.
Can't think of his name for some odd reason. Gabe Davis.
It's James Cook. He's the number one offense. He's the number one weapon in that offense.
Yep. Josh Allen's playing pretty good. Lamar now, he's playing also pretty good. But yet again, they're what?
They're 1-2.
1-2.
Derrick Henry.
But the first two games, two hard games, and they barely beat the fucking Cowboys.
Yeah, they were blowing them out, and the Cowboys almost came back.
They have a good defense, but until about close to the end of the second half, they like to shit the bed. But I think I'm going to have to roll with the Ravens.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
They're going to sneak out that win.
They are at home, which helps them. Lamar's having a solid year so far. Like, he's one of the best players of all time, in my opinion. I think he's a top 10 quarterback all time. Josh Allen right now is my favorite to win MVP. And you got Lamar, who's won 2 MVPs. I think it's going to be a good game. And you're right. Josh Allen has shown he doesn't need Diggs. He doesn't need, he can get it done with whoever now. He's that level of quarterback. And certain quarterbacks can do that. And he's shown he's one of them. I think it was good for him to have Diggs early on in his career to help him develop. But he doesn't need him now. He's showing. So, I don't know, man. The Ravens, do they drop to 1-3? I feel like they're too good to drop to 1-3, but they're going up against the Bills, who are a good team. I don't know. I also think the Bills take their first L of the year. I'm going to go Ravens, especially since they're at home. They're finally starting to get Derrick Henry going. Derrick Henry had a big game against Dallas last week. And I think they're going to keep riding that Derrick Henry power game.
Yeah.
And, work Lamar in there, work the passing game and Lamar's speed there as well. Sunday night game, we got Dolphins versus Titans. Dolphins are looking their offense looks terrible without Tua. Skylar Thompson is awful. He ended up getting benched for Tim Boyle. Personally, I think they should sign Tannehill. It just makes sense. He used to
make
play.
the reunion happen.
He used to play in Miami. He played there for 7 seasons. And he's someone who you can plug in and he can manage the game. He's gonna get the ball to your playmakers. He'll get the ball to Tyreek, get the ball to Jalen Waddle, Devon Achane, all those speedster guys.
I think Hill is hurt a little bit.
Is he?
Yeah.
Well, I'm just saying. I think that's the smart move. But who knows? I guess keep sticking with shitty Skylar Thompson. I don't know. But Titans are 0-3. They're not playing good at all. Will Levis. My personal take is I think Will Levis is going to be the next benched quarterback. It sounded like he'll probably start this game. I haven't heard he's benched yet. But I don't know, man. I think it's going to be tough. I'm going to roll with the Dolphins. I just think they got the better team. And if they can somehow get some production from the quarterback position, I think they can beat the Titans. I just think the Titans are really bad. Who you got?
Easily the Dolphins. I don't think the Titans are a good team at all. I think they're very poorly coached. Coaching wasn't the problem last year. It was the quarterback was the problem, and they just took it out on him.
Yeah.
Dolphins, yet again, you're not looking good without Tua. Tua, I think, needs to retire personally after how many head concussions he's had. I think it's insane that he's going to try to play still, but
I know.
And Tyreek Hill can't get it all done by himself. But I'm rolling with
So who you rolling with? Dolphins, right?
No. I really forgot the other team for a second.
Titans?
No, yeah, I'm going with Dolphins. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Correction. They're having 2 Monday night games again this week. So Bills-Ravens is actually the Sunday night game. We both pick Ravens. Dolphins-Titans is the first Monday night game. And then the last Monday night game is Lions at home versus the Seahawks.
Which they are wearing their black jerseys.
All right. The Lions are?
Yep, you don't need my pick because I know who's going to win.
I already know who you're going with.
The Lions, Detroit.
This might be a decent matchup.
Oh, it has been last few years.
Both teams are 2-1. Both quarterbacks are playing. They're both solid quarterbacks. Both good offenses. Both fairly solid defenses. Just solid teams all around. Lions are at home. I think the Lions have a little bit more balance on offense, and I think overall they just have the better team. I'm going to roll with the Lions as well here. And that wraps up week 4 of the NFL season, our Who You Got predictions. Any final thoughts, Kale?
You're probably going to win next week.
You think so? Okay. You wanted to wager any sort of bet on that? $5? A pop?
A pop.
A beer?
No.
Nothing?
I don't know. We'll think about it next few times.
All right.
Yeah, I think it was a pretty good week. I think we're getting closer in the middle of as we get closer to the mid-season, things are starting to pick up and things are getting interesting.
Basically, after this week, we're basically a quarter of the way through the season already. So.
Yeah, we're almost done with September.
Yeah.
Man.
Football season seems like it just started and it's already flying by. High school football is already like midway through the season.
Yep, and then
crazy.
You got like a college too. It's about midway through the season too.
Yeah. So I don't know. We'll see. Maybe I'll win this week. Who knows?
So yeah, don't forget. Going into next week, we'll see if Sam can finally get a W. We can also see if my streak continues or if I can finally fit into that shirt. Thanks for keeping it warm for me, buddy. Podcast side of things, we got some important news coming up. We'll be reporting this week. Hopefully, I think if he's still up for it, I have to ask him. Got some things planned. As always, I always say, got things planned. Plan. Trying to create the best content out there, right? You're gonna love some of the ideas I was given.
Yeah.
Let's just say it's a food that I really don't want to eat or try. But don't forget to check out Agent Life Media Group and check out all the other shows. We got Talking Dirt, Usage Substance, Touching Base, Us, We Suck, TNT Boys, that's us.
Fuck those guys.
We enjoy doing the sports thing. We enjoy doing Who You Got. and we make it work. To
Yeah, it's
record.
fun. I like it. I like the who you got. Even though I'm 0-3, I'm having fun.
I just like to win, and then if I lose, I'm a sore loser, and then I get all upset.
I'm having fun.
I'm having fun. Hey, you touched the ball.
I did.
Inside jokes between us and NCAA. But
68-16.
don't forget, below is going to be all of our links, and then we're also going to have a ticker down there with all the week games, and I'll have the bet numbers on there, and then have our social on there, and I might add more to it. I don't know. Haven't thought about it yet. But let me go away.
I wasn't really going to throw the ball.
You got played.
Catch. Not. Well, that wraps it up for us tonight.
Yeah.
Okay, peace out. Bye.